Daily God's Promise, Day 18, August 18, 2025. Welcome, beloved friends, to Daily God's Promise, Day 18. Today, on August 18, 2025, we embrace a profound and practical promise from Psalm chapter 103 verse 2. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. This verse is a powerful guide for a life of joy and contentment. In a world that often focuses on what is lacking, David's command to his own soul gives us the cure for a discontented heart. A deliberate act of remembering and gratitude for God's incredible goodness. 1. The command to your soul. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Psalm chapter 103 is one of David's great songs of praise, overflowing with gratitude for God's goodness. Unlike many psalms that cry out in distress, this one begins and ends with pure blessing and adoration of the Lord. In verse 2, David speaks to his own soul, reminding himself not to forget God's acts of mercy, forgiveness, healing, and loving kindness. In a culture where memory shaped identity, forgetting God's blessings was a spiritual danger, so David commands his heart to remember. The first part of this promise is an act of spiritual discipline. David is not just giving a suggestion, he is commanding his own soul, his mind, will, and emotions, to praise God. This is an incredible picture of self-leadership. Our souls can be easily distracted, discouraged, and prone to negativity. The promise is that we have the power to actively direct our inner being toward worship, and when we do, our inner world is transformed, regardless of our outward circumstances. 2. The discipline of remembrance. Forget not all his benefits. The most practical part of this promise is the command, forget not all his benefits. We have a natural tendency toward spiritual amnesia, quickly forgetting God's past and present goodness. Benefits includes his forgiveness, healing, provision, and redemption. The promise is that when we deliberately recall God's faithfulness, from the grand acts of salvation to the daily graces, our perspective shifts from a place of lack to a place of abundance. 3. The pathway to contentment. The intentional act of remembering God's benefits is the key that unlocks the door to a life of true worship and contentment. We cannot sincerely bless the Lord while our minds are fixated on what we are missing. This verse promises that by recalling his goodness, we fill our souls with gratitude, which then overflows into authentic praise. This is the pathway to a life of spiritual joy and freedom from the constant pressure of comparison and the search for more. 4. A life anchored in gratitude. This is more than a fleeting feeling of thankfulness, it's a deep-seated spiritual practice. This verse encourages us to build an altar of remembrance in our hearts, a place where we can return in times of trouble to recall God's kindness. It reminds us that our faith is not built on what we can see in the moment, but on the rock-solid foundation of what God has already done and is doing in our lives. 5. Old Testament cross-references. Forgetting God leads to pride and loss of blessing, as in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 11. Beware that you do not forget the Lord your God. God blesses his people daily, not occasionally, as in Psalm chapter 68 verse 19. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loads us with benefits. Remembering strengthens reverence, as in 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 24. Consider what great things he has done for you. 6. New Testament cross-references. Gratitude distinguishes true worshippers, as per Luke chapter 17 verses 15 to 16. The one healed leper returned to give thanks. All benefits flow from God's hand. As in James chapter 1 verse 17, every good gift is from above. Gratitude is God's will for every believer, as in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18. In everything give thanks. 7. Practicing remembrance. Today, take a moment and command your soul to bless the Lord. Then, make a conscious effort to recall at least 3 specific benefits from your life, past or present. As you do, you will experience the truth of this promise. Let this practice become a daily discipline that anchors your soul in the goodness of God. May your heart and mind be filled with the remembrance of his benefits, and may your soul be filled with praise.